platforms, so you can start dropping your contributions and comments and thoughts as regards the focal points for these two topics of conversation. My name is still Omobola Sandra. I have Fuhad Sahid also joining in on the conversation, and we're looking at the RMAFC defending jumbo pay for lawmakers and others. And we're also looking at marketers eyeing fresh fuel hike. Will it be or will it not be? To be or not to be? Well, that's what we're looking at this morning. I'll start with marketers eyeing fresh fuel price hike as crude hits $94. What are your thoughts on the marketer's position that fuel hike is imminent? You can't keep paying a certain amount, of money for PMS, and then you're now selling at that same price. And how are they supposed to make some profit, right? But then the federal government and NNPCL had insisted that subsidy on petrol had ended following the deregulation of the downstream oil sector. But then operators are insisting on that the government is implementing a quasi-subsidy arrangement. And they explained that with the latest rise in crude oil price, the cost of petrol was meant to increase, stressing that if the government insists on leaving the commodity at 617 naira per litre, then subsidy on PMS had been returned quietly. The marketers explained further that in July, when the cost of petrol was raised, crude oil traded at about $82 per barrel, while exchange rate was about 950 naira to $1 at the parallel market. But now we have crude oil per barrel at 94, and are we supposed to still be selling at 670 naira? So who makes up for that difference in the pricing? So that's why we're having this conversation on what are your thoughts on the marketer's position that fuel hike is imminent. Do you also think that subsidy is back? I don't think we can overstretch this conversation. We've been having this conversation for quite some time now, whether there's been a silent, reversal of petrol subsidy, or just as operators are now calling it, a quasi-subsidy arrangement. You have Ukadike here saying that what we're experiencing now is a quasi-deregulation. The rise in crude oil has both positive and negative. And the positive is increases our generation of dollars when we sell crude. But then, what are your suggestions to the government on how to manage the petroleum downstream sector? What's the way forward, basically? And that is as regards marketers eyeing fresh fuel hike. Now, we also have here the second focal point that we're going to be looking at this morning is the RMAFC defending jumbo pay of lawmakers and some other government officials, I think the executive as well. All right, so we have here on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper as reported that there's outrage over the justification of jumbo pay by National Assembly members and political office holders, saying that the RMAFC chairman is saying that it's not true that public office holders are getting jumbo salaries, saying that you need to take that out of the minds of Nigeria, that it is not true that people are getting jumbo salaries. But then, even if they are not getting jumbo salaries, we have ministers earning less than 1 million. The president's salary is 1.5 million. But what about the benefits that comes with the position that they are in, the allowances that they are getting? You have furniture allowance, newspaper allowance, feeding allowance, security allowance, so many allowances that they are getting alongside. Then there are so many other benefits that, also come with the position that they are holding. So, but then, do you support the RMAFC position that the pay rise is in order, or that the lawmakers and public officials don't really earn jumbo pay? That, this is their basic salary. This is the amount that they take home, as salary. But then, do you agree that, since that's their salary, it's been a long time since we have increased salary for these people, and it is normal that every 8 years or so, there should be some sort of increase. So do you support the RMAFC position that a pay rise is in order for our lawmakers and others? Do you consider the RMAFC position insensitive, just as NLC has said? The president of NLC, Joe Ajaero, said pay raise for public office holders is unacceptable and unjustifiable in a country where everybody is crying over the high cost of governance. So do you agree with that? And what pay package will you suggest for our public officials, especially our lawmakers? What would you suggest as, their take home? All right. I know some people will say members of the National Assembly get up to 10 million, 1 million, 11 million monthly, but those are not salaries. They are operating costs of running their offices, which in other society, the legislature does not have to see because there is a structure. So it doesn't get to them directly. So what would be your own suggestion as what should be the pay package for our public officials? I remember, Fuad, just a few minutes ago, we are having a conversation on the fact that Serap is saying, why do we have ministers who are still earning benefits as former governors and all of that? All of this just comes together. So Fuad, let's start with you, and then we open up the phone line. Hello?
Yeah, for marketers talking about that. Yes, hello?
Please,
can you hear me?
Louder, please.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
All right. Is it better now?
Yes, thank you.
Is it better now?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah, for the marketers talking about imminent price hike, that is expected. But whatever is happening now that has kept PMS, the pump price of PMS at 580, 570, 670, shows that the government is now regulating a market that is supposed to be deregulated. The idea was that the downstream sector is fully deregulated, and we're supposed to be dealing with market forces, which is supposed to be determined by international market pricing, price of importation, freight charges, a whole lot of things are supposed to determine how much we buy PMS. So if the government is now keeping the price at this level, it means there's an intervention. Whatever name you call it, government is doing something, paying for a particular money, and that means subsidy is back. Whether it's quasi or not quasi, subsidy is back. But again, the long-term solution, Sandra, would be for the government to be open. When we talk about accountability in government, this is part of accountability. If the government has returned subsidy, can they just be bold enough to tell the people that, we removed subsidy, but the reality has shown that we cannot sustain the removal of subsidy. What we have done is to we start to introduce it gradually while we are working to fix our refineries and all of that. It is still important that we have to be accountable to the people and say the way it is. If subsidy is bad, so be it. Let the government be open about it. And then for the jumbo pay people, they are lawmakers and public officials. Sandra, I've always suggested it, that lawmaking in Nigeria should be a part-time. Why do we have to be full-time? Some people are in that assembly that they have never said anything. They are in that assembly. And then for RMA, FASC always coming up with this defense of jumbo pay or no jumbo pay. We know these things. Oh, the president earns 1.5 million naira. The governor earns less than 1 million naira. And lawmakers saying that is the salary. What about allowances? That runs into 15, 20 million naira. And those are the official allowances, Sandra. There are so many unofficial ones. What about constituency projects that give room for some of these lawmakers to also siphon public funds in areas of contracts and all of that? So we know this, we shouldn't deceive ourselves. But again, there are people who argue that, look, if they even receive all of these jumbo pay and allowances, and people see the dividends of democracy, they will not complain. Sandra, let us even say they are receiving all of this money. Yeah. But there's good roads, there's good health care, the schools are well equipped, there's power supply, people can do their businesses, there's security. The Nigerians will not complain. But why Nigerians are complaining is that despite all of the jumbo pay and humongous salary that goes to our public officials, there are still no good roads. The schools are still bad. There's still security. So where are we saying the dividends of democracy for a few Nigerians who find themselves in government? What about the people? So that's the conversation for me.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Fuad. Let's open up the phone line now and get the thoughts, contributions from our dear listeners. 0913 6000 410, 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call to share your thoughts, and you have just 2 minutes. We're also taking text messages and WhatsApp messages on 0913 6000 430. 0913 6000 430. That's for text messages and WhatsApp messages. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can drop your comments in the live chat section. We're taking messages from there as well. So let the conversation be on our Facebook and YouTube platforms at Mainland 98.3 FM. Okay, so let's get on with it. We have 2 focal points for this morning. Straight to the point, RMAFC defending jumbo pay for lawmakers, and also the fact that marketers are eyeing a fresh petrol price hike. All right, so what are your thoughts? Please, straight to the point, 2 minutes, and let's stick within the 2-minute time frame that is allotted to each caller. Would appreciate that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tᴜɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Bakare.
All right, Barrister Bakare, please go on.
All right, please, I just want to make a plea for, at least for Mainland FM. Please do a cover on public schools in Lagos.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there. Those schools need a lot of support. Government seems to have abandoned that area,
Right.
and they are rushing towards rail line and all those things. Please, just an idea from me.
All right.
Now, on the issues today, well, let me not dwell much on the Revenue Mobilization Commission defending its usual. That has been
salaries, yes.
that has been the pattern. Nigerians are seen as people who don't have common sense, and then one man will sit down there. So you are if the governor's salary is 1 million, a governor is wanting to be a governor and is buying a ticket, governorship ticket for 25 million naira for a salary of 1 million. Is that what the chairman is saying? Now, on the other issue of
price hike.
We should just brace up for it. We should just brace up for it. It's imminent. It's just like rapture. It's imminent. The Nigerians should see it as rapture. Fuel prices will continue to increase because we don't have control of the exchange rate. We don't produce anything. Even the only thing we produce, we still take it abroad for refining and then bring it back. So the value of our naira is not having stamina enough. For that reason, the prices will continue to go up, and Nigerians should just brace up. It will definitely go up.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Bakare. Sincerely appreciate your contribution. Hello, good morning. Okay. 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hey, my sister Sandra, how are you? Good morning.
I'm well. Good morning, Mr. Peter.
Yeah, Ogami Fuad, good morning, sir, wherever you are.
Okay.
Now, Sandra, on the jumbo pay, somebody is defending, and we are told, I know over the years we've been talking about these things. Unfortunately, the more we talk, the more they use leaf or paper and put inside their ears so that they would not listen. My brother said something, asked a question last week, and he always asks this question. What have Nigerians gotten from the government? I mean, you are a governor, you finish and then collect so much, take care of all the finances of the state, take what you want to take, and nobody questions you. Now you come back to the National Assembly, become a senator, and you are receiving so much money, you care less about the people you claim voted for you, even if they did not vote for you. Can't they just have, the mind of God, the love of God for some things? So look, let us drop this. He cited Ben Daniel, what that man did. Why is it that when somebody initiates a good thing, others don't copy? But when it is about him, others would have just fallen headlong to copy it. The same thing, question I asked the other day. Why is it that when something could happen in other countries, Nigerians don't rush up to copy, but when it's about him, they will use that as a sample. Sandra, let me ask this question as I drop. Angola, Saudi Arabia, all other countries that belong to OPEC and are oil producing, what do their people call radio stations to talk about? Do they talk about the problem they are facing? I don't know. Do they call radio stations there? Because here, they will tell us, oh, you have the freedom to call radio stations. Now, it is the military that gave us the law that explain their operations that makes it difficult to get these people to fall online.
All right.
Who will take away this law from us so that we get the constitution of Nigeria that will checkmate these people. It's very unfortunate. We are their nation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter. Appreciate. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are you, Sandra?
I'm well, thank you.
How's Ford?
Is well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to just talk about this mobilization thing.
Your name,
you
sir?
see, sorry, my name is Walter from Solari.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, this is the thing. You see, until I don't know who has the veto power to reduce the salary or review the salary downward. Until you make political offices non-attractive when it comes to remuneration, that's when you now see the real people coming out to serve. Because every one of them there right now have all they're going there for it's for selfish reasons. I would like you. This is just a continuation of the Buhari regime, a rubber stamp assembly.
Okay.
Yes, you can see an example with an did. None of them is ready to follow. The issue of the petroleum subsidy, the presidency needs to revoke those, past regimes who have given licenses to people to build refineries. You have individuals who have licenses right now, they're not being useful. They're not using it. Even to build as little as what they call it, the refineries now they are talking about. Those little refineries.
The illegal refineries, the moribund ones.
The moribund, those refineries. How much is it going to take to build those refineries? How much is it going to take? He needs to review those licenses. He didn't even have to issue licenses to marketers. Well, we don't have the forex.
All right. Thank you very much.
You so much,
yes, thank you very much, Walter. 0913-6000-410. For if anyone joined Twitter space or X, formerly known as Twitter space, on Friday, the conversation as regards refineries was also mentioned that, why are we not even paying attention to that? But that's another conversation for another day. The focal point for this morning is petrol pump price, the fact that there is a push for a price hike due to certain realities that the oil sector is currently facing, majority of which is the forex issues and the fall of the naira. Marketers are eyeing fresh price hike, and also we're looking at the RMFAC defending jumbo pay for lawmakers, saying that, they are not, receiving jumbo pay. Their salary is, practically $1 million or less than $1 million naira, and all the other things that we think, their salaries are actually just, running costs for operation of their office, and it doesn't even get to them directly. It's for their office or their ministry and whatnot. Well, let's have a conversation as regards these two focal points. Don't forget 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call to share your thoughts. And we're also live on Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can drop your comment in the live chat section as well. Hello, good morning.
Morning. Hey, Sandra, how are you?
I'm well. Good morning, Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes.
Morning to you. Sandra.
Yes.
Could you please tell me the topic? Because where I am now, I can't even go to receive your signal.
Okay. Well, the topic of conversation for this morning is marketers eyeing fresh fuel hike. The fact that marketers are saying that fuel hike is, inevitable. And the fact that the federal government is saying that price of petrol should not go higher than 617. So there's a conversation or indication that there might be a return of fuel subsidy. And they were also looking at RMAFC defending jumbo salaries of lawmakers, saying that their pay rise is in order, that lawmakers are not really earning jumbo pay, that what we think are the extra things, the allowances, is not really their salary. So that's what we're looking at.
Thank you, my dear. You see, the Labour and the National Assembly members is supposed to tell Nigeria our basic amount is a amount. Number one. Whenever we see it, allowances then is a amount. They know about it. We are hearing million upon million. Let them come out to tell Nigeria categorically how much their basic salary. Whenever they start down, allowance is so much. What we have this for them. That's for that. And for the all that fuel we are talking about, when International Day, the increase of crude oil go up, when the price of crude oil go up, it should be a job for Nigeria. But when you don't have refinery, and because we want to do importing fuel to the country, the price must go up as well. But Mr. President have said something. The amount you are buying now, it can be 17 naira, evacuating naira after this present edition. It will never. That's what Mr. President, it will never increase it. It means, Mr. President, maybe the NFS will do manuals and fraud. If you make money from crude oil, you have to pay back for the first you are importing, you receive the price for Nigeria. I don't know any amount to capacity. Now, Mr. President Nigeria, there's no more increment. The present price we are paying is what we will be paying. The remaining one,
thank you,
Mr. President will start to listen to it. That is my stand. Good morning. Thank you. God bless you.
And you too. Thank you very much, Prince Wise. 0913 6000 410. That's the number to call. We have some messages here, so we'll just quickly take them before we move back to the phone line. I have here, good morning, crew. Can you see the type of leaders we have, or rulers we have, not leaders? How can you borrow to pay salaries and buy bulletproof cars for legislators? Isn't that insensitive? Mayor from Ikotun Egbe. I also have here, High Mainland FM. There's an intervention by the government in the oil sector, whether openly or hidden, till we start to refine locally. And export, we'll continue to express fear when there is a change in the price of crude, as it will always affect us negatively. On the humongous jumbo pay, with this defense from the government, it only goes to show that here. Good.
Yes. Whenever they can do about it, they have not done about it. Other than nations of
hello.
Or is it still the same old story? Because if a layman knows that the only way to...
Hello? Mr.
Wanchuku.
Oh, well, Fuhad.
Sorry. That was pretty much the only thing we heard from them as far as our refineries are concerned. And we have a December timeline. Although even the December timeline, what we are hearing is that it might not even work to full capacity.
Okay.
Not to full capacity. But I have my doubts about that December timeline. But we wait to see. And the one we relied on so much, for 8 years, we're talking about Dangote. Nobody's clear. There's nothing clear as to when Dangote will be functional. The Dangote refinery.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Fuhad. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Comrade Yuroko from Ejigbo.
Okay.
God bless you, madam.
Thank you.
And I greet Mr. Fuad. You see, ma, let me come to reality. It is the high time we masses, we need to tighten our belt. The way the government wants us to tighten our belt. If we could tighten our belt and commit suicide by ourselves, we will get to know. Because if I could imagine, every time, every day, they increase their own salary, they buy new cars for themselves. But we masses, we continue suffering. And every day, we continue contributing on the radio. You can imagine how masses always fight on radio to say their opinion. But at the end of the day, it is all by jeopardizing our effort. Maybe by transmission or by, I cannot just understand. Because but it is not the transmission fault. It is the fault of the masses that are supposed to fight for their right. And they are looking and they are listening for all that is happening in Nigeria as if we are an ignorance. We wouldn't have been contributing. But now that the people that are enlightening more than the ignorant, they are still in this country and still yet, honestly, as a Godjune, I don't know what I can say. Honestly, let us continue suffering. I can't say more than that.
All right.
Honestly, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Iroko, for your thoughts. I appreciate. I think for what? I think
The Yoruba part. Well, I try
didn't
to
get the
understand
Yoruba
what.
part. Okay.
I think when we talk about fighting for ourselves, like Comrade has said, I think we should just look more at our electoral process. You know, I keep talking about reforming the electoral process until we have a situation where only very good people get into public offices. Nothing will change. Where people can vote, and if you don't perform, we vote you out. Where politicians don't have the opportunity to manipulate elections. So fighting for ourselves for me can be from the ballot boxes when we reform our electoral process properly.
Thank you very much, Fuad. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good
Hello,
morning.
good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm calling from Ikeja.
Could you speak a little louder, please?
Okay, I said I'm Sunday, I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay.
All right, Summer.
Yeah, my contribution this morning is that I just want to inform all Nigerians that the period they said by December the refinery will be fixed. We are not doomed. We are all citizens, and we should understand one thing, that refinery will not be fixed. It's political. And for a refinery to make it fixed, has to take 2 years in process to fix it. Each of any of the refineries has to take 2 years, and even the Lekki Dangote refinery is going to work by 2024 probably. So I don't think that Nigeria should be expecting anything from this government, because we have suffered a long way, and we need to take the bull by the horn. I'm just urging Nigerians, because there is nothing that is coming out of this administration. It is what we had before that we are still experiencing, and it's going to be recycling, the same recycling that we're having. That is what we keep having. So I'm urging Nigerians to do that. Whatever place we are, we should just tie up our belts and know what to do next. There is nothing for this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your thoughts. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can drop your comments there, and let's have a conversation as regards the focal points for this morning. This is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM, and we're having a conversation as regards RMAFC trying to defend jumbo pay of National Assembly members and others. What are your thoughts? And also the fact that marketers are saying increase in oil price is inevitable at this point now. But then we also have the federal government insisting that pump price should not exceed 670 naira per litre. So what are your thoughts on the marketers' position that fuel hike is imminent? Do you also agree that subsidy is back, or well, maybe quasi subsidy is what we are operating now? Or what are your suggestions on how the government can manage the petroleum downstream sector? Those are the focal points for this morning. 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call. Please do well to drop your comments in the live chat section on our live platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that one. All right, we'll take some messages. We have some WhatsApp messages here. It says, Happy New Week, Omobola Sandra. I've said several times in different on different media about the uncoordinated way the fuel subsidy was removed by Mr. President. Fuel price high is imminent with corresponding high cost of living. Why is it that the NNPCL is still enjoying the monopoly of bringing the imported fuel and fixing the prices? Government should review the fuel price downward, irrespective of any name it is tagged. Refineries must be functional to eliminate importation and make life meaningful for Nigerians. Noah from Igondo sharing his own thoughts there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate picking my call this morning. So what I eventually want to say...
Where you are calling from, sir?
Thank you very much. My name is Jerry. I'm calling from Ipaja.
Okay.
And good morning to Mr. Fuad as well.
Thank you.
So my contribution this morning is that I think we lost focus during election
And that's why we are still here. Because we were supposed to have abolished godfatherism in our politics. And I believe abolishing godfatherism would have solved all these problems that we're having. Because politicians take us for a ride. They believe once they get the loyalty of their godfather, there's nothing any of the citizens can do, which I believe was what was missing in our election. We were distracted with so many things and we never focused on the main issue. But now we are back to the normal things that we used to do, and it's just so unfortunate. So I'm honestly I'm not impressed. Actually, I'm not impressed.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, appreciated as well. Thank you very much, Jerry, for sharing your thoughts on the conversation this morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, well, 0913-6000-410, that is the number to call. We have some messages on Facebook. Olumuyiwa saying, good morning, Mainland FM. On RMAFC comment, we all know that politics is business here and is never meant to serve anyone. Bicameral legislature is a waste of resources, as unicameral, in which lawmakers are paid sitting allowance, is okay. But politicians are already enjoying the corrupt system, and only true restructuring can help our situation. Please, if the price of global oil price drops to $30 per barrel, will marketers adjust the price accordingly in Nigeria? The same energy that they are giving for hike, would they also give the same for a decrease?
Well, that's always in the conversation, even during the Buhari government, Jonathan era, that when the price of crude internationally drops, why don't we see a corresponding drop in PMS prices in Nigeria? And nobody has been able to explain that, So it's only when the price goes up, there's a justification to increase the PMS price in the country that we keep hearing. But in all of that, I think we'll not really bother with international pricing if we can get our local refineries to work. We've always said it. The 445,000 barrels per day for the 4 refineries is to take care of our local needs, away from the peculiarities of the international market. That was the reason why those refineries were built in the first place.
Thank you very much. We also have Basil Chika saying, why can't they defend them where virtually all the government and non-governmental organizations have been corruptly monetized in order to incapacitate them and make them obliged to any inhumane policies they come up with? But they shouldn't worry. It's a matter of time. The chicken will come home to roast. Chika Bende from Trade Fair, Lagos. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fuad. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Samuel, calling you from Ojodu.
All right, sir.
Mr. Fuad, I want you to maybe I don't know how to say it, whether for you to analyze or enlighten us. When it comes to all these issues that we face in this country since 1999, can we really say that this democracy that we are practicing has helped us in this country? Can we really say that since 1999? I think for me, that is my own opinion. I think the time that Nigeria will enjoy this country, it is not under democracy. To be sincere with you, that is for me. The time that we enjoy this country is not under democracy. Because since we returned to democracy since 1999, it is the same issue that we are still discussing since 1999 up to today. And people will be telling us that democracy is better than a military. And I ask a question. If we are saying that democracy is better, why are we still suffering? Why are we suffering today?
All right.
Why are we suffering?
Man's inhumanity to man.
So you see, we keep on deceiving.
You've asked a question. Let's answer it now. Can we answer the question?
Yes.
All right, Mustafa.
Again, the question as to what kind of democracy we practice in Africa, and let's bring it back to Nigeria. Democracy is not the problem, really, Sandra, because it has worked for some other people. India today is the largest democracy in the world. They just landed in the moon, so it means that it is working for them. The problem here is that we've borrowed the kind of democracy from the West and just, designed our own thing. What we are doing here is not the way democracy is run. Democracy is about the people.
Quasi-democracy.
Okay, it's quasi-democracy. Just like quasi-subsidy. Honestly, we are not. This is not democracy, really. We need to really sit back. Because if it is democracy, people should be able to vote who they like. We don't monetize the electoral process, So there's a lot of problem with our democracy, and until we reform the entire process, nothing will change.
I think it's a collective effort, but then nobody's asking me. So let's move on. 0913-600-410. That is the number to call. We're still live on Facebook, so you can drop your comments in the live chat section. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Fuad, good morning also.
Good morning, Mr. Joe.
What I want to bring in is, Fuad, do we go back to swapping?
Is it the kudos swap?
Joe from Bariga. Yes, yeah. Kudos swap. Yes.
That one too was...
to avoid this international recourse.
When we did it...
When the oil goes high, we're in trouble.
Yes.
Can we go back to swap?
But the problem with the swap then was that there was no accountability, really. You swap, you don't know what you are getting.
Yes, what are we getting in?
Instead of swapping, can we just refine it here now? We kind of, you understand, Mr. Joe?
And the problem is that this corruption is something is giving us a headache. Corruption is giving Nigeria a headache. How do we go about it? Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe. I appreciate 0913-600-410. I have some WhatsApp messages here. Good morning, Milan FM. This is Gege Joshua from Ebute Meta. The government should try to stabilize the price of these crude products. This unstable nature is really going to be affecting the citizens negatively.
Crude, we can't do that. It's out of our hands. That's international, situation. It's a global thing. It's not our own to stabilize.
On the issue of double salaries for legislature, I think Nigerians should develop a means to publicly come out and express their grievance as to any unfair government policies. The politicians will always think of themselves first. They spend so much money to get to office, and they must recover their money via any means. Mr. Bakari says something that why would someone buy, form in their party for 25 million naira and be any 1 million naira every month?
That means in a year, it's not even recovering the price
I said
because of the form.
Our politicians are selfless people. They put the people first. That's why
you buy from 100 million and your salary is 1.5 million.
That's why they make such sacrifices for us.
Wonderful.
It's just just to make sure that we have a great country. Good morning, crew. We are told that Mr. President is fully prepared to govern the country the way he built Lagos, but what we are seeing or hearing is the same. Say it's a patch government. Mayor from Ikontu Egbe, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Samuel calling, but Mr. Fu, thank you for the answer that you gave to my question. Let me say something concerning this jumbo pay that we are talking about. Mr. Fu, if you can remember, the previous government, if I could remember, the last president make effort, and he make a executive order to give that the state legislature and the judiciary and local government should have autonomy.
Autonomy, yes.
And the governors came up and took the federal government to court. Do you remember?
Of course, yes.
So what are we talking about? How can this country move forward? Because the greatest enemy of this democracy that we practice in this country is the governors. I am telling you, they are the greatest problem that we have. Because anything that did not favor them, they will look at this palliative that we are talking about. They came up to say that, to accuse the federal government that they don't trust the method that the federal government used to share the previous palliative. You understand? That the federal government should hand over it. So now they hand over it to them. Did you see anywhere in this Lagos state that they are sharing any palliative? Why are we deceiving ourselves?
Thank you, Mr. Sam.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. Good morning. Hello.
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 Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please. I called back. I heard one of the last call, the caller that called before this last. Talking about
your name.
I'm Sunday. I'm calling from Kenya.
Okay.
He's talking about issue of corruption of the team. You see, the leadership is our problem. It's not corruption. I beg to disagree with that caller. It's not corruption. The problem we're having in Nigeria is not corruption. If you go to the United States, there is corruption. If you go to China, there is corruption. If you go to other countries, there's no country on earth that has no corruption.
Okay.
The problem we're having is bad leadership. The people we're having there, they are not to work. They are not ready to abide to the constitutional right which they have instituted. That is where we are. This is where our problem is. It's not corruption.
All right. Thank you.
Now, you can't count every home in Nigeria that there is no home that is out of corruption.
Thank you. It's okay. Thank you. You know, you've had your turn already. We just needed to just quickly take what you want here. Yes, thank you. So let's move on now. What corruption, bad leadership? Well, I think we're moving somewhere now, trying to identify what exactly.
Really,
yes, one way or the other. Because do we have good leaders that are corrupt?
No, bad leaders are the corrupt leaders.
Are you sure?
Of course.
We can have good leaders that are corrupt.
No, it can't be good and
maybe
be
they are corrupt, but they are still good.
No, nothing. You can't. You can't reform the devil. The devil is the devil.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, Sandra and Fuad. Yeah, you are doing great. Engineer Nee from Yaba.
Good morning,
sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you. You see, we have to the revenue mobilization establishment that what they say. See, they have to defend. I'm afraid if we are not going to increase the salaries of the legislators again. That's why they are coming up to defend indefensible. But we need to take a holistic look at our democracy, like what I just rightly said. We need to restructure this democracy before we can even think of restructuring Nigeria. If there is really willing and ability to come up with a part-time legislature, it will serve us better.
You pay them sitting allowance.
Look at what I want to justify what they are saying in a way, because if you are elected as a legislator to House of Representatives and Senate and House of Assembly, and you are not being given recognition as a failed person that could not make that his election, and you appoint him as a minister, and you are giving him all the paraphernalia of office, and is looming large in the society. You see that kind of a thing. That is why we need a holistic look at our democracy. I want to be the press and even the civil society organization, and the ready, willing, and ability of the executive to restructure is very germane. We have to work towards it. And you talk of corruption. If the United States of America is having 16 ministers and we are having 48 in Nigeria, how do you look at that kind of a thing? We have to have a rethink about it. Then coming to the petroleum mission, we are not a producing nation. We are not.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Nee. 2 minutes up. We appreciate your contribution, however, but then that's all the calls we can take for this morning. Let's wrap up with a few messages that we have here. We have one on Facebook from Chris Chichi saying, corruption is what is still making this nation to be at peace. If not for corruption, every effort don't cast. How can you be making life difficult for the poor and you want the poor to breathe? Good morning. It's okay. Well, how is corruption making us to be at peace?
He's trying to be sarcastic.
I sincerely hope so. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. All right. We also have a message here. Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. There's a question we have not asked. If there is a small subsidy or quasi subsidy, why is the price not going down since the price went up because of subsidy removal?
The quasi subsidy is to keep it where it is. Yeah, just stabilize it there.
Adeumi, thank you very much. I also have good morning, Sandra and Fuad. Honestly, until we fix our refineries, all these ugly spirits and ghosts within the oil sector will never stop bothering Nigerians unnecessarily. President Tinubu knows the right thing to do, but I don't understand why he has refused to do so. Things are very tough for Nigerians presently, and bothering them more might usher in a complete state of anarchy in the country. God will help us. Damlola from Alaba. Also, we have good morning. Oh, yes, I said moribund. Modular
refinery.
My sincere apologies for that error there. All right, good morning. Why are modular refineries not working? Instead of destroying them, I expect the government to encourage them but some are feeding fat at the expense of the masses. Ifeanyi in Asheshe, thank you very much. I also have Happy New Week to you, Mainland FM. Okay, from Idimo Alimosho, I'm appealing to labor unions and all that love Nigeria to pressure federal government to help Nigeria by being sure we refine our crude oil like other OPEC countries for our naira value to improve, for God's sake. Thank you very much. We appreciate. Just over the weekend or so, they destroyed some refineries in Delta State. Yes, in Delta State. I don't know the Chief of Army Staff, I think, gave reasons as to why they are doing all of that, but I still can't reason with those reasons. Let me put it that way.
Well, maybe because they are illegal. Illegal is illegal, so.
They can't take concession.
Well, we can fix our refinery, Sandra.
Well, there's something that, Adiola Yusuf said when we were wrapping things up on our X space on Friday night. He said that Nigeria is a place where people would wake up in the morning, dress up, wear fine clothes, drive exotic cars, go to a refinery that is not working, and then they still get salaries at the end of the month. Like, people are working in a non-functional refinery.
Adiola Yusuf said the last time he visited the Port Harcourt refinery, one of the things that shocked him was the number of cars at their car lot. Staff car, as in
the refinery that's not working.
Like thousands of cars parked, by workers who are working in a place where nothing is happening.
They're not. Don't say they are working in a place. You say
they are in a place. Or resuming where nothing is happening.
Thank you very much, Fad. We'll take a break now. We'll be back by 9:45 for Global View. We need to talk international stories. So stay with us. This is still Mainland 98.3 FM. My name still remains Omobola Sandra, and this is Fuad Sahid with me here in the studio. We'll be right back.
Mainland.